is Nick, and I'd like to tell you about a big cat, and it's a female. It's one of the biggest tigers in the whole world. It's called the Siberian tiger. It lives in Antarctica, a very frozen place, and it lives in a very special place in Antarctica. I'm freezing! It also eats reindeers and stuff, like reindeers and probably a lot of stuff because it's one of the largest tigers. This tiger is large, and by saying large, this guy also weighs a lot. Well, it mostly eats up to 25 kilograms of meat every day. Doesn't eat as much as a T-Rex. Well, it depends on their, weight. I mean, how big they are. Because if they ate too much, there will probably be a little problem in their stomach or stuff, Well, they can't, out-eat. Well, like we humans can out-eat our, our own body size, Well, for animals like tigers and stuff like that, they have to eat their own body, mental health like that, so they can stay alive, of course. That makes sense, because tigers have fur, which means killing them will be easy. Okay, now, considering this, if you try and kill an alligator, it'll be pretty tough, because it's a reptile, not a mammal, like a tiger, for example. Siberian tigers mostly weigh up to 250,000 pounds. That's a lot. And they are pretty long too. From their hips all the way to the ground, their feet, for example, is probably, you could say 11 centimeters. Not 11 centimeters. 11 centimeters, like, probably the size of something like, probably super short, Well, it's like, if you compare like a small truck, for example, it would be probably the size, like double small trucks, probably. I don't know, triple small trucks. It's gonna be probably like half the length of your arm, probably. Like half the length of your arm probably is almost as long as an axe or something, Like, well, if you cut an axe in half, that'll be, almost probably here, because the axe itself on the top is probably gonna be reaching up all the way to your brother fingertip. Well, a Siberian tiger does what it says. Well, it makes sense because it's called a Siberian tiger because it lives in Siberian. Well, that's a cool place. And some people think Siberia is also in a tropical forest. Okay, let me be clear. When it was 65 million years ago when the dinosaurs lived, Antarctica wasn't a snow place. It was a tropical forest. Did you know that? If you didn't, that's a fun fact. Well, a tiger doesn't really have a lot of stripes. If you count all of the stripes on a tiger, they're probably like 40 or 50 or stuff like that. Well, it's not going to be 100 because a full-grown adult Siberian tiger is not that long, like 100 or something. That's going to be like very uncomfortable with all that stripes coming around and no orange. And that's going to be good for camouflaging, but if it had too many stripes, well, it's going to be like probably the whole black thing with a long tongue sticking out with the eye that's black and, stuff like that. Without orange, it's not a tiger, it's a blink tiger, It's not a blink tiger, it's a black tiger, not a white tiger. It's a black tiger, something that has black stripes and black fur. That's a weird looking tiger, Well, only if you change the stripes color, it'll be much more easier. But that won't make any sense to me because you can't change the color. But if the color is blue, it'll be a teeny bit short, like Well, it's pretty gross. Well, as they mark their territories, they mark the territories on a tree. Well, it makes sense because tigers climb tree, climb tree. Like they climb trees up like the highest branch they can reach. Well, those are good climbers. Well, they climb to camouflage and then eat their prey. They eat a lot of stuff. It's only because they're really long. And by showing they're really long, their height isn't really long too. Because some people also say they're probably only up to, well, if you compare its whole length, it'll probably be, well, 6 feet, not 6 feet, but, well, think about this. Imagine a truck half. I mean, third, fourth of a track. I mean, not track, a truck. A third, fourth of a truck. And compare it to a tiger. That's probably the length of a tiger. And for a height, it's like not as tall as a T-Rex, like probably the top to the bottom of a bus.